My name is Tracy Fant. I'm organizer of Freedom Fighters Upstate, South Carolina. And I'm joined by Dr. U.A. Thompson, Felicia Oliver, and Shadavia Roseman, the mother of little Zion. Today we find it necessary to address the media with some questions and concerns the family has. Because although we don't have many answers, I will speak on what we do know. Last Thursday was little Zion's mother, Shadavia's, first day working at Bumblebee Daycare. She started her day off as usual. She worked Thursday and Friday, and she enjoyed the weekend with her one-year-old son, preparing him for his first day at daycare, which would be Monday. On Monday morning at approximately 6:15, baby Zion went to his one-year-old classroom with his teacher. His mother, Shadavia, was assigned to the two-year-old classroom, which was feet away. She checked in on her son at around 7:15 and noticed that he had been crying. She contacted a family member and asked for them to come and pick him up because she didn't want his first day at daycare to be traumatic. Upset, and she knows because she's worked in child 7 years, she knows this is normal for children. It was her baby, her miracle baby, who was upset. So she called for her family to come and pick him up. Her family was en route to pick little Zion up, but unfortunately, upon arrival, they saw an ambulance. Now, inside the school, something else was happening. You see, the questions and concerns are ours because from 7:15, where she saw her baby sitting in a chair for what appeared to be crying, to 8:15, when a teacher rushed into her classroom with the lifeless body of her son in her arms, she handed Shadavia her deceased child. The family tells me that his lips were already purple, his body was completely limp. His mother asked at that moment, like, what happened, what's wrong? They said it appeared that he choked on a goldfish cracker. She asked if anyone did CPR. She ran to the office and they began to do mouth-to-mouth on him. EMS arrived and they came in and they did an amazing job. They worked on him for several hours. But the lapse in time from when she last saw her baby to the time when he was put in her arms, deceased, the answer still remained. The question still remained, what happened to little Zion? If he strangled, was anyone in that classroom certified to administer CPR? If he strangled, was there another teacher, or were there teachers in the classroom that could come to his aid, or was he in the classroom alone? You see, this daycare has several violations. And one of the many violations that they've had in 2021 was lack of training for CPR. So as I say, the questions remain, and I'm going to allow his aunt, Felicia, to speak, and then after that, Shadavia's going to say some words.
I just was wanting and wondering, why did my sister have to approach the room after being notified and had her lifeless baby? Upon approaching, watching her baby being passed around. No CPR performed at this time, no any maneuvers or anything. Just passed from teacher to teacher and then placed in her arms and then removed from her arms, ran to the office and started mouth to mouth. Why? I want to know what happened to lead to this incident. Prior to them approaching her, they approached her room and asked her prior to this incident, was a blanket Zion's? And she replied, no, the blanket is not Zion's. Later, minutes later, approached again, come out. And when she approached, she saw her lifeless baby then passed around, then placed in her arms, then removed, and then ran to the office and began mouth to mouth. Why? Why was this baby placed? Why wasn't CPR going on during this time? Why? 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 And then you're gonna go get her? You walked in the room for the blanket. So why wasn't she notified during the time of choking? Why? 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 We would never get to touch Zion again, nor see him his first day of daycare, his very first day, while my other sister was en route to get him to find out that he had passed. He was my everything. He was my everything. I love that child, y'all. I love him so much. A piece of me is gone. A piece of me is gone. I love that child. I love him so much. And to have him taken, I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna make it after this. I don't know.
The fact remains, Zion's first day of daycare should not be his last day of living. He had many wonderful days and years ahead of him. For what appeared to have been incompetence and negligence on the part of a daycare, we have laws, policies that govern daycares, child care facilities in this state, in this county. We are calling on DHEC, DSS, the Sheriff's Office, and other agencies within Greenville County to make sure Bumblebee and other daycare facilities like it are following the guidelines, the procedures set forth by the local agencies, the governing bodies in the state of South Carolina, so that no other family have to experience the tragedy that this family is going through. Any life lost at the hands of incompetence for the sake of expedience and for the sake of making a profit. We realize that daycares are struggling at this hour for employees. And because of that, they're hiring and pushing aside policies, not getting proper certifications. Everyone employed inside of a daycare, including custodians, including cafeteria help, must be CPR certified. And many of which are not, because daycares are scrambling for helpers, workers. And these are violations that cannot continue to be swept under the rug, that many daycares have been cited for and given a pass on, that cannot continue. Parents need to be concerned. Parents need to make sure certifications are intact of teachers and assistant teachers that are monitoring and educating these classrooms, because baby Zion is one child too many. And we cannot stand for this any longer. This family have questions that should not have gone beyond Monday unanswered. When I received the call from my dear cousin on yesterday morning, I did not know about this. I've been on a reprieve, and she began to cry and tell me about this situation. I said, hold on, wait, what happened? I said, let me bring Tracy on three-way. I did not realize that this had occurred. And Tracy does what Tracy do. She began work fast and in a hurry, went and met with them and found out all of this. And I applaud her and her efforts. We need her doing what she does because she brings relief to a lot of families. And I thank Tracy Flant and Freedom Fighters for being the wonderful person that she is, doing the wonderful job on our streets that she does. And I thank her for helping my family in this hour of need. And I thank you, the members of media, because you will help us get these answers, not just for baby Zion, but for other parents whose kids are now in there. CPR should have been administered. A goldfish. I have grandkids. My wife and I discussed this on last night. You know how many times our grandkids eat goldfish at our house and have gotten choked on goldfish, but they did not die from it. We need answers. We need them fast. This is not right. This family is hurting. This baby, look at this innocent child. It is not about race. It is not about social justice. It is not about civil rights. This is about human life, dignity. This hurts. A 1-year-old child is dead because someone inside this building behind us who was supposed to know CPR did not know it and brought a lifeless child to his mother, a teacher in the next room. That's insane.
Does the media have any questions?
What has the daycare said?
Nothing. They've said nothing. As a matter of fact, they called the police on us today when we arrived.
At this point, is there anything that the daycare will do to remedy this?
No. They can never replace him. They can never replace this child's life. There's no remedy. The only true remedy in the future is ensuring that this never happens again to another child. But right now, in this moment, there's no.
They can make sure they let every parent know that has a child in here, that every teacher here has, and every employee has CPR certification. They can place it on the front wall, on the front desk when the parent drop off their kids and pick them up to prove to the parents that they have their certifications intact. That would be a good start, because I wouldn't feel good if I was a parent dropping my child off here that it is so, because obviously it's not, especially considering that there has been some infractions in the past for such violations.
And then also let this be a lesson to other parents whose children are in daycare. And also let this be a lesson to other parents whose children are in daycare, not only focusing on this daycare facility, but this is the type of question that you need to ask when you enroll your child, or if your child is currently enrolled in a daycare program. Are they CPR certified? Are there 2 teachers in every classroom? When one leaves, there's another one there to see over the children. What about the teacher to student ratio? Are the teachers overwhelmed? There's a lot that could have come into play, but as of now, we don't have those answers because we still haven't received a response from the coroner. as far as the cause of death. And until then, we really can't speak 100% on what happened. We know that they have video that the family is entitled to see. So we do want, if the family doesn't want to view it, we would like to view the video to see what happened in that gap, in that hour's time that Zion, from 7:15 to 8:15 when he was deceased. But yeah.
And for the record, it was a parent who performed CPR on Zion at last, and the parent was dropping off their child at the front office.
I don't know if y'all would know, you said the teachers in the classroom weren't CPR trained. Did they say they didn't know how to do it, or is there any evidence like that?
So in March, they were fined for the teachers not being CPR certified. That's online on the DHEC website. And so, we don't know really what to conclude from that.
But it says that they did remedy the situation while that was going.
Right, but what does that mean? Does a remedy mean that one teacher was certified and that teacher just wasn't in his class? Or does that mean that all the teachers were certified? I saw this say there was remedy, but does that mean there was 100% coverage? As Dr. Thompson said, did the janitors know CPR? Did everyone within the facility know CPR? Or did just the facilitator learn CPR? There's a big, that's wordplay.
And those are the types of things, as a daycare owner, we've owned daycares in the past. Those are the types of things you have to stay abreast of, because daycare teachers don't make a lot, so the turnover rate is very high. So it's very possible that in March they got a violation for it, but in May they remedied. But in June, 3 of those teachers quit, and they hired new teachers who wasn't. So they had to recertify all those teachers, but there was no places in the class until August. So, so those are types of things you have to look out for, and you have to bring people in to train, things of that nature. So it's a tricky situation.
I was wondering if Zion's mother might be able to shed some light on this situation, just as a person who's worked there before. Did they have you go through CPR training as part of your training?
I was certified through another facility. I just started, but I have my certification through another facility. No,
They never asked you about it yet?
They never asked me. When I first started, when I first started that morning, I was asked if I was given a packet to finish my information to be hired, and the assistant director didn't know that I wasn't given. She just thought I was coming in, and I said, I wasn't given a packet to finish my information prior to that. Like my 2 weeks of coming in for the job, I was only given a century registry to fill out. I wasn't given a whole staff application, pretty much, to fill, which I had all my stuff in hand, but they just asked me to fill out a registry, a century registry. And then 2 weeks, technically I started at 3 weeks. And when I came in my morning of starting, the assistant director asked me to fill out more of pretty much finish my application.
And was CPR training a part of that as well, that you had to fill out?
To verify that I had my training, it was mainly policies that they what was attached to the, application. Did she ask me if I was certified? No, but I am.
Did the paperwork ask you at all if you were certified?
I don't believe so. I don't remember, but she was supposed to get a copy of it right then. I do know my time of being hired from other businesses, that stuff you have to have it in file. But was I asked for it? No.
Did you never have to show them proof that you were certified?
No, they didn't ask. And I'm technically an interview. So whatever they're giving or asking me to give, that's what I'm giving. You know.
And have you heard anything from DSS in the last few days?
No.
What would you like to do?
What was the question? That is inconclusive right now. His remains were just released to the Brown funeral home.
Have they offered the hill?
Upstate funeral service. No, they have not reached out to the family at all.
We thank the media for coming, okay? This is, as you know, very stressful on the family, and we truly appreciate you guys for showing up and covering this. And hopefully very soon we'll have the answers and be able to assist the family more.
And we'll release a press statement regarding that when that time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you.